In the fog-shrouded castles of the 1600 Hungary, a noblewoman's vanity turned to horror. Countess Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess, tortured over 650 virgins. She bathed in their warm blood to defy age. Whips cracked, screams faded into silence. Was it myth or monstrous truth? The shadows whisper her name. Welcome to GrimoryX, where history's bloodiest shadows ignite. 1560, in the noble Bathory family seat of Hungary. Elizabeth was born into power and privilege, descended from kings and Vlad the Impaler. Her uncle's dark lineage whispered of cruelty. Raised amid opulent halls and iron-fisted rule, she learned early the weight of blood ties. Yet, beneath the velvet, a storm brewed. What twisted this child into a monster? Young Elizabeth's education was ruthless. Latin, astronomy, and the arts of war. Tutors trembled under her piercing gaze. By 10, she witnessed a gypsy's execution, blood spraying like rain. This spectacle ignited something primal. Noble society praised her intellect, but servants whispered of cold cruelty. Her beauty bloomed, yet darkness festered within. How did innocence curdle so young? As Elizabeth grew, tales of her temper surfaced. A servant girl whipped for imperfect hair, blood drawn in fits of rage. Witnesses spoke of her fascination with punishment, echoing the family's brutal history. Was it epilepsy's shadow or innate sadism? Nobles dismissed it as discipline, but the underclass trembled. In opulent courts, her beauty masked emerging horrors. What drove this noble child toward the abyss? At 11, Elizabeth was betrothed to Ferenc Nadasdy, heir to vast fortunes, a union of power, not passion. He, a warrior known as the Black Knight, trained in Vienna. She moved to his family estate, enduring isolation and rumors of her pregnancy by a servant, swiftly silenced. The alliance promised strength, yet harbored tensions. Did this match ignite her resentments, or merely delay the inevitable storm? May 8, 1575, Elizabeth wed Ferenc at Franov, a lavish affair with 4,500 guests, Emperor Maximilian's gifts glittering. At 15, she retained her prestigious Bathory name, a rare assertion. They settled in Čachtice Castles, she managing affairs while he warred against Ottomans. Early harmony masked strains. Was this union a facade, concealing her growing autonomy and unspoken desires for control? In their union's dawn, Elizabeth oversaw vast estates, Sava, Čachtice, while Ferenc battled Turks. Letters revealed her keen business acumen, lending money to royals. Yet solitude bred restlessness. Rumours hinted at early mistreatments of servants, dismissed as noble prerogative. Their partnership thrived on distance, but cracks formed. Did absence fuel her independence, or unleash suppressed cruelties in shadowed chambers? Between 1585 and 1598, Elizabeth bore 5 children: Anna, Orsolya, Catalin, Andras, Paul, solidifying the dynasty. Motherhood softened her public image, yet private accounts suggest indifference, leaving them to wet nurses. Ferenc's absences continued, her role expanding. Joy mingled with isolation. Were these heirs a blessing, or mere pawns in her web of power, untouched by maternal warmth? Ferenc, the black hero of Hungary, led charges against Ottoman forces, earning glory in the Long War. Elizabeth supported from afar, sending supplies and managing finances. His brutal tactics, impaling enemies, mirrored family legacies. She absorbed these stories, perhaps inspiring her own methods. Absence deepened her authority. Did his violence echo in her soul, forging a countess unbound by convention? Around 1600, Anna Darvulia entered Elizabeth's service, a forest witch versed in herbs, spells, and torture. She became confidant, allegedly teaching blood rituals for youth. Their bond deepened amid castle isolation. Servants feared her occult influence. Was Darvulia the catalyst, awakening Elizabeth's latent sadism, or merely a tool in the Countess's expanding arsenal of control and cruelty? January 4th, 1604. Ferenc succumbed to a mysterious illness, perhaps war wounds or poison. Elizabeth, now widow at 44, inherited immense wealth and lands. She mourned publicly, but swiftly consolidated power, evicting his relatives. Freedom unleashed her. Darvulia's grip tightened. Was his death convenient, liberating the Countess to pursue unchecked desires, veiled in grief's sombre cloak? As sole ruler, Elizabeth commanded loyalty from servants like Ganos Uvari, Elona Jo, and Dorka. She travelled between castles, amassing influence. Occult practices flourished under Darvulia's tutelage. Victims, young peasant girls, began vanishing, lured by promises of work. Power corrupted absolutely. Did widowhood reveal her true nature, or amplify a darkness long simmering in noble blood? Allegations trace back to 1585, but post-widowhood saw escalation. Girls tortured in dungeons for minor faults, needles under nails, freezing baths, iron maidens. Elizabeth observed, sometimes participated. Accomplices executed the horrors. Victims numbered dozens initially. Was this punishment or pleasure? Investigative eyes later uncovered diaries hinting at systematic sadism shrouded in castle silence. Tortures grew inventive, burning with hot pokers, honey-smeared victims attacked by insects, starvation in cages. Elizabeth's hands bore scars from her zeal. Darvulia orchestrated, claiming lunar faces enhanced effects. Victims screamed into the night. Over 100 perished by 1608. Was this madness or calculated vanity, seeking eternal youth through suffering's crimson elixir? Legend claims a servant's blood splashed Elizabeth's skin, erasing wrinkles, birthing the bathing ritual. Virgins drained into tubs, her immersion defying age. Though later embellished, testimonies confirmed blood collection. Vanity or sorcery? Darvulia's death in 1609 shifted methods, but horrors persisted. Did blood truly rejuvenate, or merely sate a monstrous appetite in candlelit depravity? Elona Jo procured girls, Dorka inflicted pain. Fico, the dwarf, restrained them. Ujivari documented. They formed a loyal cabal, rewarded with favours. After Darvulia, Ertzi Majorova continued occult guidance. Loyalty bound them to secrecy. Over 650 victims claimed. Were they willing participants or coerced puppets in Elizabeth's symphony of terror, echoing through stone walls? Peasant daughters aged 10 to 26 were prime targets, easily abducted, their disappearances blamed on plague or wolves. Lured to Čachtice with job offers, they faced unimaginable agonies. Families silenced by fear or bribes. Society ignored the lowly. Was class divide her shield, allowing atrocities to multiply unchecked in the name of noble entitlement? By 1609, peasants scarce, Elizabeth targeted minor nobility's daughters, promised etiquette lessons at court. Their higher status risked exposure, yet arrogance blinded her. Bodies piled, some dumped in rivers. Accomplices grew nervous. Was hubris her downfall, inviting scrutiny to her blood-soaked domain, where class no longer protected the predator? Corpses surfaced, mutilated girls found in fields, under castle walls. Villagers whispered of the Countess's involvement. Priests refused burials, deeming them suicides. Elizabeth's excuses faltered. Panic spread among nobility. Was carelessness the crack, exposing her empire of death as the stench of decay pierced the veil of aristocratic impunity? Whispers reached Vienna, tales of vanished girls, blood rites. Lutheran ministers petitioned King Matthias II. Elizabeth's kin, fearing scandal, urged caution. She denied all, claiming illnesses claimed the dead. Society polarized. Was denial futile as rumours swelled like a crimson tide, threatening to engulf her fortified world of secrets. By 1610, formal complaints flooded King Matthias from nobles whose daughters vanished. Hungary, he ordered Palatine Gheorghe Thurzo, Elizabeth's cousin-in-law, to investigate discreetly. Thurzo gathered witnesses, plotting a surprise raid, political motives intertwined with justice. Was royal intervention inevitable, piercing the nobility's code to confront the Blood Queen in her lair? Thurzo's probe uncovered damning evidence, survivor tales of whips, bites, freezing deaths. He consulted the king, balancing family ties and duty. December 1610, he advanced on Čachtice under cover of night. Elizabeth, unaware, hosted a feast. Was betrayal from within the final thread unravelling her tapestry of terror? December 29th, 1610. Thurzo stormed Čachtice, finding fresh corpses and tortured girls in dungeons. Elizabeth arrested mid-feast, denying crimes, accomplices seized, evidence catalogued, blood-stained tools, victim lists. Shock rippled through Europe. Was this the end of her reign, as chains replaced her jewels in history's grim judgment? January 1611, trial in Bitcher, accomplices tortured, confessing to 80 murders, implying hundreds more. Elizabeth, spared execution due to nobility, was convicted in absentia. Jo and Dorca burned at stake, Fico beheaded. Political expediency saved her life. Was justice served or diluted by class, leaving the Countess to ponder in isolation? Walled alive in Čachtice's tower, Elizabeth endured 4 years of solitude, meals through slits, no visitors. She died August 21, 1614 at 54, perhaps of despair or illness. Buried secretly, her legacy endures as myth and monster. Was she guilty or victim of slander, forever enshrined in blood's eternal shadow? Elizabeth Bathory died alone in 1614, walled in her castle tower, the bloodlust silenced. Over 80 accomplices executed, yet her crimes, myth or massacre, stain history crimson. In shadows, vanity's price endures, a grim reminder of power unchecked. Subscribe for more grim tales. Like, comment your thoughts. The next shadow awaits beyond the candle's smoke.